Welcome to the #1 rock show on YouTube. It's the Musical People and Journey's new album rock show. Welcome to my crew, to Paul, to Trish, to Simon, and to Will. Welcome, everybody!
Hello. What are you doing there, Paul? Playing the old guitar?
Yeah, I'm finger tapping the guitar.
Very impressive. Well, if you're tuning in for the first time, what's the show all about? Well, we review the latest album title, so go to a show. And if you like what you see, please hit that like and subscribe button. We are on a mission to get to 100, so please help us kind of get there, because more bands will then want to come and do interviews with us. And if you check out our channel, we've got wonderful interviews with the brand new up and coming bands, because let me tell you now, we don't just review the latest and greatest big bands, we get the emerging bands and we help them through, which is what's needed, because all of our wonderful big bands are get a bit older. They're not going to be around forever. Not going to be around forever. I mean, and Simon's got the download T-shirt, and there was a very good question about, we're doing an interview, and they were saying about who are going to be the next big bands coming through, So anyway, right, will it be one of the two today? Who have we got? We've got Walk with Titans and their album Olympian, Dystopia, and Black Spiders, Can't Die, I Won't Die. Don't know where that accent came from, it just did. So, right, here's what's going to happen. We're going to decide, rate them out of 5, decide where our £20 will go, and also rate them out of 5, and if they get more than 20, they could well get into our Hall of Fame. Let's find out, shall we? Let's find out. Well, let's start with the mystery that is Walk with Titans and Olympian Dystopia. I'm hoping that Paul's going to help me out, because I know nothing about them other than they were formed in 2019. Power metal, and this is, something about Greek mythology. So, Paul, I am going to start with you, and I hope you can shed some light on who the heck are these people. Do you know?
Well, no, you won't know much about them, because this is the debut album.
There we go.
So Walk with Titans are a power band from Canada. Yeah, that's they're Canadian.
They are Canadian. I got that much.
Yeah. So you heard that correct. Not Scandinavia. So for the first album, they've had their minds firmly fixed on the Greek mythology. The style of power metal firmly puts them in the fast lane of power metal. That is not to say that they don't rise above the pack of mediocrity. In their opening song about the famous son of Zeus, I can't even say his name again now, Heracles, yes. The song at times slows down to a snail's pace, and the singer sounds as if he's on the verge of yodeling, and then in other parts raises his voice to the ceiling. And your first thought, what are we going to have here? However, the album sort of calms down after that. And I was although I was on the fence, to say the least, by the time As Titans Fall had sounded its last note, I was fully on board. Olympian Dystopia may not be in the same league as power bands as Sabaton, but this debut album is a really fine effort, and it'll be interesting to see how they develop in future years.
Trish, a bit of power metal. Now we're moving into your wonderful sphere of love.
The album is power metal with a twist of Greek mythology. It's heavy and mystical, but at the same time I found it quite generic. Just very power metal, which isn't a bad thing at all, don't get me wrong, but it just didn't bring anything different to the table or have any wow moment that could make me say this is a go-to album. In the background to listen to, it's fine. It's not bad, it's solid, and I'm sure any power metal aficionado will appreciate it in its glory, which means I am not an aficionado.
Well, let's carry on with our two aficionados, but we'll start with William. So you are power metal, alongside you're the king and queen. I won't say which one is which, but power metal.
I make a great queen, is all I'm saying. So, so this struck me from the get-go. Look at the names, because not only have I been known to dabble in power metal, I've also been known to very heavily dabble in history and Greek mythology. So obviously seeing shocking news, right? Will likes history and mythology. Wow. So I was immediately struck by the fact that also being Greek mythology, they've used the correct Greek names with using Heracles rather than the Romanized Hercules, which everyone associates with, when Heracles is the actual name of the proper demigod. So I like the theme of this album, and I like what they're singing about. I think more than they're singing of it. So obviously you've got very obviously inspired songs like Heracles and Eurydice, which are obviously about the two named characters. Seven Against Thebes, singing about the 7 Greek champions who were tasked, I think, by the king of Argos to take out the city-state of Thebes in Greek mythology as well. And I think Edge of Time is about the Titan Cronus, I think, from what I could gather listening to it. And the rest are obviously Gift of Fire is Gift of Fire, Gods of the Pantheon is the gods. So I like that, and I like they're telling the story of these Greek myths in another way, a slightly less tedious way than the old Greek writings do. But I'm not sure I'm completely enamoured by the actual singing performance. It's good. It's power metal. It's nothing exceptional. It doesn't really stand out. It's power metal vocals. It's the same sort of guitar work and drum work that most other bands do. Which isn't to say it's bad. It's just that they're not doing anything in a more standout way, other than the fact that they're singing about a topic that's not as commonly sung about by power metal bands. Rather than the old fantasy and dragons, they're singing about actual mythology and history, as it were. But it's I could see myself listening to a few of these tracks again, but I wouldn't skip it if it came on, but I wouldn't necessarily go out of my way to listen to many of these. But it's enjoyable enough. Greece is cool.
Cool. Well, the queen of power metal has spoken. How now about the king of power metal?
Yeah, I'll take it. So it said Heracles, Kronos, Prometheus, Eurydice, like, sir, you have my attention with the theme. Then Heracles, the song opens with that beautiful sound of power metal, and I'm there climbing Mount Olympus, ready to revel in this glorious music. And then the vocals kick in, and I realise it probably would take a while to walk back down afterwards, actually. They're not bad, but I'm not a fan of the high-pitched notes that punctuate the otherwise sort of awesome lyrics, and I'm able to enjoy them even more because that theme is so strong. The retelling of these Greek tales and stuff is just amazing. The rest of the album doesn't let up, though, even with the tracks averaging like 4.5 to 5 minutes long, which is quite long. The guitar work I thought was inspiring. Hermes himself would probably be proud of the speed the band hits in Edge of Time. It's just fantastic. Gods of the Pantheon, crisp guitar solo in there. My only gripe is that the tempo actually doesn't let up, so there is little variety other than faster. So I would have loved to have maybe a little bit of some lower tempo tracks, a little something maybe based around Aphrodite's, or some heavier thumping track devoted to Hephaestus's work or something. But overall, I did enjoy the album, and I genuinely hope they do more.
Okay, so when I do a shortlist, I only can listen to, like, they might have only released 1, maybe 2 tracks, so it's literally a dabble, a foot in the water. Wow, that sounds really good. When I listened to that one track, I can't remember which one it was, when I was narrowing it down, it was one track, I went, oh, that sounds really good. And okay, they made the shortlist, and I literally give, like, a spot mark out of 10, and then because I'm doing 40 albums, and then I can narrow down and then match them up. And this obviously scored, that one song I might have heard of those scored quite highly. And that first track, was because like you guys, the theme was interesting. This might be something different, debut album. They're going to bring something new. They're going to be something different. And that first track, as you said, slowed down a little bit. Maybe that almost I think, oh hello, and then the next track kicked in, and it was exactly as Simon described. And the third track was the same, and the fourth track was the same, and the fifth track was the same, and the sixth track was the same, and the seventh track was the same, and it was all the goddamn same. It was like rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. It was lazy. It was terrible. And I tell you what, I'm gonna because I slated Powerwolf for their album, which was pretty much exactly the same. It was rinse repeat, and this was utterly rinse repeat. Yeah, there was some fine artwork in there, some fine moments of fine guitar work in there, but it was such a shame because they had an opportunity to tell the story, and with power metal, it's all about storytelling, and that storytelling. For me to enjoy power metal at its best is when they mix up that music and they tell the story, not just with the words but with the music. And fast power metal, time again, particularly you're right, Simon, for the length of time, just got really tedious and really boring, and I will not listen to this album again. So let's move on, swiftly moving on to Black Spiders. We all love a good spider. Can't Die, Won't Die. Who are they? Black Spiders are an English rock band, people. We are back in good old Blighty in Sheffield, England. Their third studio album entered the UK rock chart at number 9. We entered at 28 after Record Store Day. There we go. The band was formed in 2008, originally playing a few shows under the name Black Spiders. They released their 3 tracks, St. Peter, to coincide with a small run of dates with Airborne on mainland Europe in December the same year, their first ever tour. In 2016, the band announced their breakup with Fuck Off Black Spiders, an 8-day farewell tour. I love it. That's quality, isn't it? An 8-day farewell tour in the UK. The last performance of Sheffield Corporation on the 16th of June 2017. However, surprise, surprise, in 2020, the band announced that they reformed and were recording new material and playing live again with their new drummer, Wyatt Wendells. And in March 2021, writing a new album throughout the knockdowns and recording enabled the band released their new self-album, Black Spiders, to very positive reviews. Can't Die, Won't Die. Right, okay, dokie then. Trish, then let's start with you on this one. Talk to me about Black Spiders.
Okay. So the album starts with the intro, which is just guitars playing with the drum beats thrown in. And you're waiting for the song to start, but it's only 2 minutes long, building to suspense for the rest of the album. And you aren't disappointed when it's followed by Hot Wheels and many more timeless metal-driven things. It's feel-good hard rock with some tongue-in-cheek humour in some of the songs that bring a smile to your face. The standout track for me is Strange. This is a fantastic party of a British rock album, and I've actually booked tickets to go and see them.
Have you now? Whereabouts?
I think it's Southampton they're playing.
Oh, okay. Right. Well, there we go then. Will?
So this was a rock album who played rock music at a decent start. I mean, first off, the intro annoyed me. I like an album with a good intro, and the emphasis on the word "good" for the intro. It was just like a silence and a little bit, and silence and a little bit, and silence. It was like they could have had swap that, had it as like a shorter 20-second thing at the beginning of the actual first track. The first track's about 3 minutes long. Make it like 3.5 minutes. Have a bit of an intro to that instead. It's a bit of a needless track. Albums have done intros well, and they've done it bad, and this is a bad for me. But the rest of the album, it's not bad. It's got some good guitar work, some good vocals, some good punch drum bits. I think it's what track was it? I forgot now. Off the top of my head, one of them really starts with a really good opening guitar riff, fast and punchy. It's a rock album. A Rat is a Rat is the most insightful song name I've ever heard. Truly, this is an animal-themed month, from sea cows to rats. Clearly, that's the theme going on right in mind. Roosters as well. That's in this album. So, no, it's all right. Album cover's a bit naff there, and I forgot that for the last that I was doing that again. So, yeah, rock music is rock music. The end. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Simon, Black Spiders. Did you come across them? Did you go on to the Fuck Off Black Spiders tour in 2017?
No, can't say I did. Yeah, sounded all right. so the hard rock seemed fairly good. I'm struggling to get like a definitive opinion on this band for some reason. So clearly the band are having fun with the music. They sound like what they're producing is good, and I think it's the kind of band that sounds like it will be really fun live. And that's like, it sounds like you're gonna have a good time with them, with Trish, because they do sound like that kind of band. But when I listen to the album as a whole, I just sort of feel nonplussed about it. Well, actually, no, that's wrong. Apart from the 2-minute intro, which really annoyed me, because it's just the same riff over and over with moments of silence, which then leads into a light American rock cafe track. So it's my usual disdain for an intro track is only outmatched by the disappointment of that type of song. But Driving My Rooster was the standout track, probably because it's a bit on the heavier side, and Traitor's Walk was a good bop as well. I did enjoy that. So, yeah, I don't know where to land on this album. I think I just enjoyed it. I think it's just good. Yeah.
Paul, did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy a bit of Black Spiders? I know you like spiders.
Yes, of course I do. So I listened to all of these albums going up to the NEC and back, and on first listen, it was the album I was most impressed with. However, I believe Black Spiders were from Sheffield are an enigma to themselves. They've been on the punk rock scene for some 10 years now, resurrected, like you said, in 2020, and after 2 years after their self-titled album, have upped the ante with their Can't Die, Won't Die album, a take on Pandemic, maybe. They have a no-nonsense approach to rock, fast and ballsy, and when they're on form, songs such as Driving My Rooster, Destroyer, The End of the World are definite earworms. However, the album is flawed. The 2-minute introduction, as Simon has pointed out, is a total waste of time. And their more punk-like songs, such as A Rat is a Rat, seems immature and out of place on the album. There are other less appealing songs that pull the album back from a must-buy. And funny enough, it was announced on Planet Rock that, Black Spider's song next. And my wife was with me, and I said, I'm reviewing that album. And A Rat is a Rat came on, and she said, I don't want to influence your opinion for the album, for the podcast, but it's shite. Well, that's fair enough.
Okay. I kind of know where I'm with Simon on this one, because I'm not really sure what they were trying to do, because they flitted between indie rock and a bit of pop rock and then obviously a bit of heavy, and you kind of just didn't quite know where to kind of fit them. They were, I think it was a good, light, fun rock album. It was not something I go out and buy, but it was something that if it was on and they were on, I would probably enjoy it, really, I think. So it was a solidly good, okay rock album without setting the world on fire. I didn't write any memorable tracks down. Though for some reason on my playlist I've got a song called All Right, All Right, All Right by Black Spiders. And I can't,
that's good.
And I enjoyed that, I think, the most of it, I think. But then that was more pop rock. So yeah, just to kind of where to fit them. But it was okay. It was an album that I reasonably enjoyed. And it was worth a listen. So Okay, right, well, where are we going to sit with this one? I think this could be a bit of a black... Would it be Walk with Titans? Would it be Black Spiders? Let's go and find out, shall we? Okay, then, who are we going to start with? Let's, we go with, I think we started with Paul, didn't we? So, Paul, Walk with Titans.
3.
3.
It's funny, a 3, but live will be a lot lower than that.
Well, I'll never find that out. And Trish.
2.5.
Simon. No, Will even. Will.
Hello. We're very similar, the two of us, in our marriage of metal.
Marriage of metal.
The marriage of metal. I want to give it a 4. The theme was good, and they have potential. So.
Simon.
By royal decree, it is a 4.
Wow. As it was their debut album, I'm going to give them a very generous 2, because I'm going to rate them the same as I would with Powerwolf, really, on that score, and that is a very generous 2. Okay, 4.5, 8.5, 12.5, 15.5. Okay, a solid score.
That's not bad.
Thanks to the king and queen of power metal. So there we are. Right. Okay, Black Spiders. Then Paul.
And I carry on with the only for this. So 3.5.
3.5.
However, live, I think this band would be a 5.
Ooh.
So I'm quite envious of you, Trish. There.
Oh.
Okay. Trish.
Oh, come on. You know what it's going to be.
No, tell me.
There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us.
Wow. Okay. William.
Well, much like in our marriage, there's only 2 of us. So,
a 2. I
Yeah.
presume. Okay, Simon.
Overruled 2.5.
Hey! 2.5.
we're going to be having some problems here on
Bigger
that.
spoken.
Yeah, I'm going to go 3.5. I've written down 3.5. I can't really remember the album too much, but there we go. So obviously too much. So anyway, 8.5, 10.5, 11, 13, 60.5, and we've gone 1, 2 all. Oh, they win 3-2. Black Spiders. We're buying their album with our measly £20, everybody. There we go.
Measly.
I'm giving my £20 to charity instead. It's a better cause.
There we go. Anyway,
It's a better cause.
Okay, right, well, thank you very much for joining us on today. Well done, congratulations to Black Spiders. I hope you have a great time in Southampton, and thank you very much for everybody. What's the last thing? What has everybody got to do, everybody? What have they got to do? What have the people out there got to do? They've got to what?
Like, comment, subscribe.
That's it. Like and subscribe. 100 people. Let's get there. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you to my wonderful panel, to Simon, to William, to Trish, and to Paul.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.